I would like to continue with the Calibishie Chronicle, and on this particular episode I would like to take the discussion a bit further afield into the St. Andrews High School. And there's justification for doing so, because I was exported out of the village with my talent into a high school setting where my talent was seen and brought into Roseau. Because as a Calibishie boy playing cricket in Calibishie, the scouts like Sebastian and Norbert Philip, Lockhart Sebastian and Norbert Philip, would not have been around watching our village league. But when I played for the St. Andrews High School, especially representing the Pascal House and playing St. Andrews against the other teams, you become part of the institution. And now your name is being called. So scouts see you, hear about you, and they call you in for trials in the capital city. So that's how it works. You really become part of the institutions of state, schools, church, and everything else, and then you are better seen. I would have never probably been called on trials if I had stayed in Calibishie playing cricket. So my story is extended into St. Andrews High School as well. Eddie Joseph, as I said, is a lifelong friend. I have not spoken to Eddie for maybe 15, 20 years. Probably a bit less. Because I think I might have been in Canada about 15 years ago and I met Eddie then. And that was the last time we spoke. But Eddie is my partner. If I meet Eddie right now, we will speak as if we had been speaking every day, because we were that tight back in the day. So I mentioned my grandfather being deprived of his agricultural products by a nice little scheme where the people who were working for him actually harvested the dashing by cutting the dashing under the shoot very neatly, pulling the dashing out and covering back the hole where the dashing came from. And after a few days, the plants would wither out. But my grandfather did not know that his dashing had been taken. And when he tried to uproot one, he fell on his behind. And he said, "Boy, man, ye meet." So I took that same technique with me to St. Andrews High School, because we used to cultivate agricultural plots at St. Andrews High School. I'm not too sure whether anybody remembers that, but I do. And I know you remember that as well. And we worked hard. We were taught how to do agriculture. I think Mr. Carbon, Bernadega Carbon, was our agricultural teacher. So we did the theory and then we had to do the practice. So we did the practice by cultivating. And I know carrots was one of the major things that we cultivated. But what used to happen is that we used to cultivate this stuff and the teachers used to rip. Well, we used to rip too, but to give to them for whatever reason. I think they would sell them at times, and we would sometimes get from the harvest. But I'm not too sure that Eddie and I were very pleased that we were getting our equal share for our hard sweat. So I told Eddie, boy, we can do a technique to get our stuff. So we did the same thing that the people did to my grandfather. Cut the carrots in the bottom, dig it, pull it out, and put the dirt back over it. But we didn't do it well, because the carrot stalk stem did not stay up for a very long time after. And in any case, we were seen. People saw us doing it, and they sold us out, and we were reprimanded, taken to the office, and we had to defend ourselves, and we defended ourselves, saying that, look, we cultivate, we cannot eat. People who do not cultivate eating, that's not fair. I think we got away from maybe a little flogging on the hand. Maybe, David Edwards on his left hand. I think he was left-hander. I love this man. I love him. We used to call him a particular name. Well, not me, them. Wendy and them. From Marigot and Sylvester and Valina. They used to call him a name that I really didn't like, so I didn't call him that name. But he was a good principal and teacher as well. He taught us sciences, chemistry in particular. And I remember that we got 100% pass in chemistry when we sat exams. In those days, when my class sat exam, in those days you didn't get those kind of passes. So such a wonderful chem teacher he was. We actually, just did well. And another teacher I can speak about is Smiley, Allington Burnett. But we will speak about Smiley some other time. I just wanted to highlight the fact that we harvested the agricultural produce, the carrots then, and Eddie and myself, we ate. We had a wonderful time. We were like little rabbits. We really enjoyed ourselves. We got a little punishment for it, but at the end of the day, we had to have harvested the sweat of our labor. So I wanted to bring that story into this the picture of the Calibishie Chronicle. But Eddie, of course, is from Calibishie as well, from Atazi. And I can speak about that young lady who was dancing and singing to Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun on the auditorium stage. But the time is gone, so probably on a future episode, I will highlight that story and see what actually came out of that episode. But probably on the next episode.